Hey y'all, our family of 6 took a cruise on the Disney Dream. We left out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We left in January of 2024 on a 5-day cruise to the Grand Cayman Islands and to Castaway Cay. So this is the crew welcoming us aboard. That's the drink they offered me. They didn't tell me how much that was going to be until a little bit later. But anyway, that's all right. It was worth it. It was delicious. Took the edge off. I had never been on a cruise ship, so I was a little bit nervous. But we had the best time. This cruise ship was amazing. The coffee in the mornings, look how precious. The buffet, the food, top notch. This was the window in our room, and my kids loved it. We decorated our door, and we had 2 rooms. So this was the first room that the majority of us stayed in. It had the split bathroom, which was awesome. So we also had another room. We got an indoor cabin that was kind of adjacent to our room, and that was for our older son, who is 17. We figured him and my husband would stay in there. Now, this one had a Murphy bed and that fold-out couch, so it was plenty of room for us. But now, this is the inside room. It had that magic window. We went and hung out in it sometimes. My kids were a little bit sick, unfortunately. That always shows you on the screen where you are, and I thought that was amazing. My kids ran the halls when they felt good. They ended up getting the stomach virus, unfortunately, so they were down for a couple of days. So we just stayed in the room for a couple of days, and it was wonderful. But I hate that they missed out on some of the stuff. We were actually on the Marvel cruise, so they did a big Marvel show. My little ones had to stay in the room with my husband because they were sick. But me and the older boys went and enjoyed this, and they just really did a good job with this show. Of course they did. It's Disney. They always do an amazing job. If you've ever been to the parks, you know what I'm talking about. They treat you like royalty, and they just really do all the shows up. And of course they should, because it's not cheap to go on these kind of things. But it's something you got to prioritize. If you want to do it, you save the money and you do it. So this was the fireworks show on the water, and it was so good. My little ones were actually able to see the fireworks from our window, so I was so glad to hear that when I got back. They did a little Tony Stark Iron Man flyover, which of course we love because that's our favorite superhero. There he went, and that was really neat. And I think this is the only fireworks show on any cruise. That's what I've heard, that Disney has exclusive rights to do that over the water. So this was us pulling into the Grand Cayman Islands. Me and the little ones didn't go because they didn't feel well, so my older son and my husband went. This is the day of meeting superheroes. There's old Groot and Iron Man, and we got to see some characters. They were pretty much everywhere, and you could really keep up with them on the app where they would be. Now, this is my 2 middle boys making slime in the club. Now, they have 3 clubs. They have the younger kid club, the middle-aged kid club, and then the older kid club. Luckily, all 3 of my younger ones were at the age to go into the younger club, and they got to go make slime one day, and that was a highlight for them. This lady was so sweet teaching them how to do it, and they got to keep their slime, so they were excited about that. Another favorite pastime of my little ones, if you have little ones, they love riding an elevator, especially if you can see out the window. Got to see all the beautiful scenery, and the cast members were amazing, of course. And so there we are, pulling out of the Grand Cayman Islands. My husband and my son said it was okay. I mean, they didn't think we would have enjoyed it. Now, there's Pirate Night. Again, we didn't get to enjoy Pirate Night because they were sick. But we did snap some pictures before my husband and my oldest son went to supper. So now, this was a day that everybody felt well, and it had been 24 hours, and everybody had been well for 24 hours. So we went to the club, and I let them play, and it's just the cutest club. The little club, they had that Toy Story area, the Star Wars, they have a ship riding place. Now, this is the middle kid club. They had an open house one day, and we went and checked it out. Now, this is when we were at supper one night at Animator's Palace. We weren't really crazy about the suppers. We actually loved the buffet more. I love seeing my kids happy and smiling, having a good time. That just makes it all worth it. This was the day we pulled up to Castaway Cay. I'm not sure if that's Castaway Cay or Key, but I have always said Cay, so I'm just going to stay with it. It is so beautiful there. Now, it was an overcast day, and it was cool because it was January. My kids were playing in that water, and they came out with their lips blue, but I honestly didn't even care. I was just so happy to see them well and happy, because this was the next to last day before we were leaving. I think we were headed back. And anyway, they had us a beach barbecue is what they called it. Now, in the South, when we think of barbecue, we think of like barbecue meat, like brisket and pulled pork. So that's what I was expecting, but I was dead wrong. They had the works. Oh my goodness. They had everything, every kind of food you could imagine, and it was delicious. We just enjoyed the food. We enjoyed playing. They have all these activities for you to do, and my kids love that. And then we rented the paddle boat. We had rented that ahead of time. We weren't sure if we'd get to do it because it was sprinkling while we were out there, but they let us do it. And then we loaded back up on the ship, and my little ones finally got to play in the splash pad that they had been wanting to play in all week. And they just loved it. They were so excited, having the time of their lives. We just let them play until they were exhausted because, like I said, they had been deprived and not been able to do as much as I had hoped they get to do. And then they have the goodbye party, or the farewell party, I think is what they call it. And it's just the characters singing and telling you goodbye and that they'll see you next time. And these are just a few of my favorite pictures from the ship. We had the best time. I rate the Disney cruise a 10 out of 10, and I cannot wait to go back. We've already planning for the next one. Y'all have a good day.